Hey Rob, thanks for coming back.
Hi Megan.
Before we start anything, I just kind of want to go over our confidentiality, which we do every week. Like you know, most of what we say in here will be kept confidential, but I cannot keep that all confidential. Some things I might have to break our trust on would be feelings of self-harm or homicidal thoughts. You want to hurt yourself or others. If you reveal any sort of child abuse, elder abuse, or someone with a disability. And then finally, if I'm subpoenaed to court, and I would talk to you about this, and we would kind of go from there. But do you have any questions?
No.
Okay, cool. Well, we can get into whatever you want to get into this week.
Well, big event this week. I lost my job.
Okay.
They could tell that I had been drinking. I was in, and they it wasn't the first time it had happened before. I wasn't that drunk, and I functioned pretty well. They kind of just had it out for me, but now I have no job. I'm supposed to be a provider for my family, and I don't know what to do. It's hard for me to even look my wife in the face or think about what kind of example I'm setting for my children. So it's been it's been hard, and I don't know what to do to feel better besides old habits and drinking. So.
Well, that's really rough. So you lost your job this week due to kind of the issues we've been talking about in the past, struggling with alcohol, especially during the work hours, but you're kind of feeling like attacked almost. It sounds like they had it out for you and just these like really intense feelings. Yeah. And it's hard for you to be at home and to be around your wife and kids, and you're supposed to be that provider. That's really rough.
Yeah, it's hard. I want to make a change for them, for my family, but I don't know, and it's hard to feel positive about my future. I don't even know where to start looking for another job. I don't have much of a resume. I can't use this last place as a reference, and I just feel like a washed up drunk, and I want to be better for my family.
It sounds like you have all these negative feelings, but at the same time, I noticed that you use the word change. Like you want to have that change in your life, even though you're feeling lost and kind of these, I can't do anything for my family. I did notice that change was in there. And I noticed today that I can smell a little bit of alcohol off of you. Did you have a few drinks before coming here at all, or?
I had a few.
Mm-hmm. And did you drive here at all?
I did, yeah.
Okay. Well, the first thing I want to do is make sure that you're safe, especially getting back to home if that's where you're going. Is there any way we could get you a ride back home or wherever you're going after this, just to make sure you get home safely? I can give you bus tokens or maybe calling your wife or something. Would that be an option?
It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess we could do that.
And if it is embarrassing for you, we don't have to call your wife. We could get you a taxi or something home.
My car's here.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe a taxi would be best.
A taxi?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can definitely call them when the session ends and get you a safe ride home. I think that would be the best option for you. And if you don't want your wife to know, we don't have to tell her, take one step at a time. So if that works best for you and you feel safe doing that, I can help you get that paid for, and we can figure out a way to get you back here tomorrow and get your car.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. When you say that you don't want your wife to know and that it's embarrassing, have you guys talked about your issues in the past or anything like that? Can she be a support at all during this time?
She is. I mean, I love my wife and she's been great through all of this, but she can't. She can only do so much to kind of hide her disappointment. She's supportive, but it's hard. I know. I also know that I let her down, and I want her to be able to trust me and trust that I'm going to do right by her and by our family. But it's just hard. I just keep going back, to the bottle. It gets to the point where it's, I had a few drinks before coming here. It doesn't even feel like a big deal. It's what I do every day. It's what I do to feel normal, almost. But she knows. We're okay, my wife and I. Part of me worries about that changing. Like this might be the last straw, and I don't know what I'd do if she, if she took our son and left. But I don't think that's coming. But I also think that we are kind of maybe at a point where it is really important that I pull it together. But it's so hard, and I don't know what to do.
It is really hard, and I can hear that kind of struggle in your voice as you're talking to me now. As you don't want to keep going back to it, but it kind of seems like a cycle to you. Is that correct?
Yeah.
But it is nice that you do have this support from your wife right now, although it seems to be a little bit worrisome that it might change soon.
Right.
Well, I kind of wrote down some things, and it seems like we can really help you out here. It sounds to me as if you're really wanting this change in your life. It's been something that we've talked about in the past, how to make changes, and I think that you're at this point now where you're ready to start making some goals. Does that sound like you're ready to do something like that?
Yeah. I do feel that way.
Okay. And it's really nice that you have your wife to talk to, and I think that she'll really love to know that you're trying to make these changes. And you can even take this time and look at it from a positive view as being able to spend more time with your son and your wife, kind of bring back the family together and, have them help you if that would be an option. One of the things we could do is we do have a support group here at the practice, if you're interested in that at all. It would be other people who are kind of struggling with similar things. It doesn't have to be alcohol. It could be just everyday things, just getting up and trying to find a job, or maybe substance abuse. So it's people that are similar but have different kind of stories to share. Would that be of interest to you at all?
I'd give it a try.
Okay, we can definitely do that, and you can go. It's an open group. It's on Thursdays at 6 p.m. So if that works for you, we can kind of set that as a goal for you to try it out. You don't have to go if it's not your thing. If you don't think it might help, we can still meet up. So we can kind of do that as an option, or kind of an alternative to this therapy.
It's Thursdays at 6?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Would that work out for you?
Yeah, I'd be willing to try that.
Okay. So you're willing to try that. And in the meantime, do you think there's anything you would want to try immediately, or do you think you're ready to maybe cut back on the alcohol at all, or?
Yeah, I think I have to.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard, but I've tried that before. Sometimes one, just one or two beers turns into a lot more, and there's not much I can do. I always lose control.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've been thinking about maybe talking to my wife about keeping alcohol out of the house.
Okay.
Or at least less, making a commitment to her, and maybe her having my back, and that I really need to make a change, and maybe being accountable to her to keeping it to one or two a day might be a good place to start.
Yeah, that sounds like really great, and it seems like you and your wife have previously talked about this, so that's a really great step that you've kind of come up with on your own almost. And just kind of remember that it's going to be a process, and if you do make a mistake, we can keep working on it and try and find out other things that work and don't work. We will be meeting next week at this time if that still works for you, so we can see how that goes. If it would work to kind of journal or do an account of every day to see your growth, that could also be an option to kind of help remind you, like, this is what I set out to do. Maybe I did it 5 out of 7 days. So just maybe to remind you, that could be another option on top of that or not.
Yeah, I've never done anything like that before, but I have lots of time.
Okay.
So I'll give it a shot.
Alright. Well, it sounds like we have a few different things for you to do or to try out. And this doesn't mean that you have to do all of them all at once or anything. Do you kind of want to tell me what's the first thing you're going to do and kind of maybe when, a little timeline?
I think first step is getting home safe.
Okay.
Tonight, which we talked about.
Okay.
And then I think I need to talk to my wife, tell her that we had a really good session, and that I'm ready to start making some changes, and that I could use her help.
That's a really great start. I think the first thing is just really ensuring your safety. It sounds like you and your wife and your son are really close, and I think, they depend on you a lot, and vice versa. So you really do have a strong support system there, and I think they would want the best for you too. And I'm glad that you recognize that safety is kind of at the top of the thing for you, and really having that bond with your wife and telling her what's going on. So that's a really great step. So what we kind of have from this session is that we're going to get you home safe. Do you think that you would be able to come back tomorrow, or do we need to arrange something car-wise right now, or do you think that's something you could do at home?
I'll get here.
Okay.
Safe.
So we'll call the taxi?
Yes.
Okay. So that'll be your first thing.
My car.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So we'll call and get you home safe, and then you will talk to your wife about it. Is there anything else that you want to do?
I like what you said about maybe keeping a journal and just kind of thinking about how it feels, and kind of keeping track of my goals and what I'm doing to reach them. So, like I said, I've never done anything like that before, but I'd like to give it a try. And then the group on Thursday.
Okay.
Again, I want to. It makes me feel a little funny talking about my problems in front of strangers. But if you think it would help, I want to do whatever I can.
And what we can do is kind of have you do the journal, and that can be your kind of commitment for me, is to have this journal brought in next week. And then we could try the group after that, if it's been a success or not, and go from there if that makes you feel more comfortable.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Maybe not everything all at once. Yeah.
Okay.
I think the journal, and trying to get my wife's support in cutting back and making it a team effort. I think that's a good place to start, and I'm ready to do that.
That's really great to hear. I'm really happy to hear that. So, kind of to summarize the session, we're going to have you come in next week with your journal, just recordings of what you did, how you felt about it. So it's really just an open space for you to just let your feelings out and kind of keep track of what happens during the week, and we can talk about that. We're going to get you home safe tonight, which I'm really happy to hear about. And we'll talk about group if that's a possibility when we meet next week. But I think we had a really great session, and it's really great to hear that you're taking these steps and really wanting to make that change. And we'll go from there, and I'll see you next week at this time.
That sounds good. Thank you.
Thanks, Rob.
Mm-hmm.